time for a little bit of a change of pace now, something of a how-to. I would like to reintroduce to the show Sean Clancy from BLA. Welcome back, mate.
Thanks, Nick.
Now, you are a one-time Australian bream fishing champion.
A few years ago now.
Yes, we've taken you out of your comfort zone. There is not a bream within Kui here, but today we're talking about sounders, fish finders. Every fishing boat has one, but it's probably one of the most sort of misunderstood, overlooked pieces of equipment that we have.
Yeah, certainly it's no good going out and shelling out a lot of money on the latest Humminbird sounder if you don't know how to read it. So we're out in the salt water. Hopefully there's some tuna around, and we can explain what we're looking for, bait fish versus big individual tunas.
All right, so a step-by-step how-to. If your sounder's got you baffled, stay cherry. Alright, so we've just got our new boat, our new Humminbird sounder is in it. We turn it on and we go trolling for some tuna. Now, Sean, when we're trolling, we're not necessarily looking for individual fish, are we? Even if we're trolling for trout or barramundi or bass or whatever it might be, we're looking for where the fish might live.
That's right, you know, and with the barra, we're obviously looking for snags and structure where the barra might be holding. But out here in the salt water, we're looking for bait fish. So we're going to concentrate on looking for bait fish and then seeing if there's any larger marks coming off of that bait fish, which will hopefully be the tuna. Okay, now if you're not seeing anything on your sounder, what's the first thing to do? What's the first thing to play around with? Well, your sensitivity is very important, and just by pushing the menu button, we can go up to our sensitivity. If that's too low, you can see that all that bait activity will disappear. Yep. So we need to ensure that's correctly set. The rule of thumb is to set it as high as you can whilst maintaining a clear screen. So it's no good if all this section through here is all red and blanked out. You're not going to see any targets through that. So it's set pretty good now. We've got it on 15 out of 20 and we're in about 30 metres of water. We can see we've got some activity coming through now, some bait fish coming through now, and hopefully we'll see some tuna marking up soon. Well, not everybody when they're using their sounder is going to be trolling. A lot of what people look to their sounder for is what we're doing here, just steaming around looking for a bit of bottom so we can have a fish on the bottom. What tips have you got for people in that sort of situation? Okay, Nick, as far as reading the bottom and working out bottom density, what we're looking for is thickness of this initial return. So this is our colour spectrum over here. So red's our hardest return. So basically the thicker the redness in the bottom, the harder the bottom is. So that's potentially rock. Yeah, so this would be a fairly hard bottom. We can see some lighter returns coming through, just some scattered fish marking up close to the bottom. There's not a lot of red in those fish, so they're not as large as probably what we're targeting in the tuna and that sort of thing. But obviously some smaller fish activity near the bottom there, coming up with the yellows and greens. And if you, like us, like to complicate things even more, what about this? The bar crusher is fitted with not one, but two switchable transducers.
Yep, Transducer 1 has a few tricks. It lets us see below the boat and out either side with something called side imaging. It's a different type of picture, almost like watching a video.
Well, Transducer 2 is an extreme deep unit, and as the name suggests, it will allow you to see what's going on in 500 metres of water, and that is extremely deep. Yep, so your sounder certainly has come a long way, and Sean, thanks mate for taking us through the ins and outs.
It's a pleasure. There is a lot to it these days, and it's good just for people to understand a little bit more about what they're looking at. There's no point shelling out all that money if you don't know what the hell's going on that screen.
And the more you know about it, the more it will help you catch a fish.
Yeah, absolutely. You can read what the fish behaviour is doing, whether they're active or inactive. You can see what bait fish are around. If you're targeting bottom-dwelling species, you can really hone in on the correct type of bottom for the fish species that you're looking at.
Yes, indeed. Well, we didn't catch one today. We probably spent too much time playing with our sounder, to be honest with you. But next week, Sean, we'll catch plenty.